එහෙනම් සාදුකාරයක් පවත්වන්නකෝ. හොඳයි. එහෙනම් අද මේ සෙනසුරාදා සන්ධ්‍යාව සුපුරුදු ලෙස සන්ධ්‍යා බුද්ධ පූජා පින්කම. ඉතින් අද සෙනසුරාදා දවස නිසා ධර්මානුශාසනා පින්කම සහිතවයි සිද්ධ කරන්නේ. අද මේ පින්කම වෙනුවෙන් අයිරානෝන මහත්මිය දායකත්වයේ දරනවා. ඉතින් සුරංග මහත්මියත් හෙට දවසේ පූජා දිනයේ උපන් දිනේ නිමිති කරගෙන මේ සන්ධ්‍යාවේ පැමිණලා දරුවන් සමග මේ පින්කම වෙනුවෙන් සහභාගී වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම ඒ ධර්ම දේශනා පින්කම කොණ්ඩඤ්ඤ හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේට සිද්ධ කරන්නට කියලා ආරාධනාව සිද්ධ කළා. ඉතින් ඒ දරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් ඉතින් අපි පළමුවෙන් එහෙමනම් පූජාව සිද්ධ කරන්නටයි සූදානම් වෙන්නේ. පිළියෙල කරගත්ත ගිලම්පස මල් සුවඳ දුම් පහන් ආලෝක පූජාවන් ලෞතර බුදුහාමුදුරන් වහන්සේ උදෙසා පූජා කරනවා. පූජා වේවා කියලා සාදුනාදයක් පවත්වන්න. So today we are going to have the Dhamma talk with the puja, and especially Iranona wanted to have this Dhamma sermon in English, especially for the children. So Suranga and daughters and Suranga his puja's 16th birthday is tomorrow. So wishing her happy birthday, participating today's evening puja. So wishing all of you, especially for birthday girl, wish her happy birthday. We all monks and all other Dhamma friends who are here wish you good luck and happy birthday. So let's offer this Buddha Puja. So we have prepared flowers, incense, candlelights, and with medicinal drinks. So let's offer, thinking of the virtuousness of the Buddha. And by offering this, we generate wholesome energy. With the power of that wholesome energy, may we all have good health, success, prosperity, and longevity. All departed relatives also rejoice this merit, and all divine beings also rejoice this merit. May they all be well and happy, and may we all attain ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Now let's observe 5 precepts. So say sadhu 3 times and namo tassa 3 times. එහෙනම් නමස්කාරය කියන්න. අයි සාදු කියලා 3 වරක්.
නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු වරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස.
බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි ဒုတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි බුද්ධං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි ධම්මං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි တတိယံ පි සංඝං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි පානාති පාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි තිසරණේන සද්ධින් පංචශීලං ධම්මං සාදුකං සුරක්ඛිතං කତ୍වා අප්පමාදේන සම්පාදේත
සාදු 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 නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විජ්ජාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සම්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහිපස්සිකෝ ඕපනය
පච්චත්තං වේදිතබ්බෝ විඤ්ඤෝයිති සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතු ශාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතු ශාවක සංඝෝ ඥායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතු ශාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතු ශාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතු ශාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති ගණසාරබ්බදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදං සිනාති ලෝක දීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං ගන්ධ සම්භාර යුත්තේන ධූපේනාහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයං තං පූජා භාජන මුත්තමං වන්න ගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං හේතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනිං රස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේන ච හෝතු මොක්ඛං පුප්පං විලායති යථා ඉදම් මේ කායෝ තථායාති විනාශ භාවං සුගන්ධං සීතලං කප්පං පසන්න මధుරං සුභං පානීයමේතං භගවා පතිගන්නාතු මුත්තම අදිවාසේතු නොබන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්නාතු මුත්තම අදිවාසේතු නොබන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්නාතු මුත්තම අදිවාසේතු නොබන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පතිගන්නාතු මුත්තම වන්දාමි චේතියං සබ්බං සබ්බඨානේසු පතිට්ඨිතං ශාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධිං බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා යත්ස මූලේ නිසින්නෝව සබ්බාරි විජයං අකාපත්තෝ සබ්බං යුතං සත්තා වන්දේ තං බෝධිපාදපං ඉමේගේතේ මහා බෝධි ලෝකනාතේන පූජිතා අහම්පිතේ නමස්සාමි බෝධිරාජා නමස්තුතේ සේවිතං ධම්මරාජේන පත්තුං සම්බෝධි උත්තමං පූජේමි බෝධිරාජානං දීපේනේ තේන සාදරං සේවිතං ධම්මරාජේන පත්තුං සම්බෝධි උත්තමං පූජේමි බෝධිරාජානං දූපේනේ තේන සාදරං සේවිතං ධම්මරාජේන පත්තුං සම්බෝධි උත්තමං පූජේමි බෝධිරාජානං උප්පේනේ තේන සාදරං සේවිතං ධම්මරාජේන පත්තුං සම්බෝධි උත්තමං පූජේමි බෝධිරාජානං උදකේනේ තේන සාදරං සේවිතං ධම්මරාජේන පත්තුං සම්බෝධි උත්තමං පූජේමි බෝධිරාජානං ගිලානං පච්චයං ඉමං කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ බන්තේ භූරි පඤ්ඤ තථාගත කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ ධම්ම සංදිට්ඨික අකාලික කායේන වාචා චිත්තේන පමාදේන මයා කතං අච්චයං කමමේ සංඝ සුපටිපන්න අනුත්තර ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ලෝක සාසනං ඉදං මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ ඉදං මේ ඥාතිනං හෝතු සුඛිතා හොන්තු ඥාතයෝ දේවෝ වස්සතු කාලේන සස්ස සම්පත්තියෝ තුච පීතෝ භවතු ලෝකෝ ච රාජා භවතු ධම්මිකෝ ඉමිනා පුඤ්ඤ කම්මේන මාමේ බාල සමාගමෝ සතං සමාගමෝ හෝතු යාව නිබ්බාන පත්තියා ඉදං මේ පුඤ්ඤං ආසවක්ඛයාවං හෝතු සම්බ දුක්ඛා පංචතු සාදු 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 එහෙනම් හොඳයිනේ So good evening, children. All of you. Netra. Okay. हाँ मैं तुमने पीठ पास So children, I don't know if you're happy or not when I say children. We are not children anymore. Anybody? Huh? Still okay, right? Davina? It's all right to call your children? Okay, good. What about Kylie? Kylie is all right with that? Okay, good. So, today I wanted to, not to just tell you stories, but to show you something. Something very important that last week I participated in this program. Unfortunately, we cannot show it in big, Can you see it? කොහොමද සරංග වොලියුම් එක? අන්න බලන්න වොලියුම් කොහොමද? පේනවද ඇතට? Wait a minute. Japan.
Ja, I want to. Det var sånn music til meg.
ඔය ඉන්නේ තායිලන්තේ රජකුමාර. ඔක තමයි නාලන්දා මහ විහාරික හදලා තියෙන්නේ.
ජපාන් වල සරන් පිටිනේ මේ දලෙලාමත් බැරියද?
මේ වරනේ. මනස් එකක් ඉන්නවා නමුත් 25කින් තමයි මේවර ගෙන්නලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ කොවිඩ් එකට පස්සේ පටන් ගත්තේ මේ. ඒ කට්ටිය පහුගිය කාලේ මුකුත් නැහැ. පහුගිය අවුරුදු වල මේ ඔක්කොම එන කට්ටිය එක රටකින් දෙන්න ගානේ අඩුම තරමේ දෙන්නෙක් ආවා. මේවර එක්කෙනයි. ඒ කාලේ බිස්නස් ක්ලාස් ටිකට් වල ගෙන්න ගත්තා දැන් ඉකොනොමික් ක්ලාස්.
ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ විදිහට කරනවා.
හැම අවුරුද්දෙම නෑ අවුරුදු දෙකකට එකයි.
ඔය එහෙද තියන්නේ.
නෑ මූව් වෙනවා තනින් තනින්.
මගේ බොසයි වයිෆ් ඒගොල්ලන් දලෙලාමත් හරි උදව් කරනවානේ. හරියට. ගියා ජපාන් මම එක ඒ දලෙලාම වැඩි නේද? ඒ ස්මාර්ට්. ඒ බස් කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක ජපාන් ගියා.
ඔය ධාතු මන්දිරය වෙතියි. මම කතන්දරේ කියන තමයි මේ ගත්තේ මේ. කිව්වා එහෙම නේ. නෑ ඒ කතන්දරෙත් කියන්නේ මොකද ඒ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් බෙදෙන්න එපා නැත්නම් ඔය දන්නෙත් නෑනේ මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියලා. So this information is very important to all of us. Even as Buddhist children, for you we should know this. As children, what can we do? Right? What you were seeing was the grand opening of Nalanda Mahavihara. Nalanda Mahavihara was in 800 years before. It was destroyed in India. India?
Closer to Iran border again.
No. Rajagahanuwar kittuwa තියෙනවා. මේක ගිනි තිබ්බනේ.
ඒක ස්කූල් එකක් නේද හම්බුනේ කාලේ?
ඔව් යුනිවර්සිටි එක. අරනේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකක්. අපේ බෞද්ධ යුනිවර්සිටි එක තමයි තිබිච්ච.
They saw it.
I think, huh?
They saw it.
Or you went to
India.
Yeah. Oh. So it was destroyed by. It was a cause of hate. They were hate about it, and I don't want to tell you who was the person destroyed it. When monks were inside, they put the fire, and it was burned with monks inside. So that's how they destroyed it. For 800 years they didn't do anything, but these people, they started it.
The capital city of Bihar state in eastern part of India. The ruins of this place are...
So that's how it happened. And what happened, this Hamdro and one of the monk in Japan belonged to one of the sects, Buddhist in Japan and China, Mongolia, they are called, that's a Mahayana tradition, 2 different schools in Buddhism. I think you have heard, even in Christianity you have Christians and Catholicism. Similar to that, there are 3 different sects in Buddhist schools. One is called Mahayana, ours is called Theravada, and there's another one called Vajrayana. Vajrayana is Tibetan tradition. What this monk did was, he's a very interesting person. He was 96 years old, he's still living nicely, very healthy. He was here in the show. And he wanted to, somehow he had the idea to revive this, build a huge center for the Buddhists. He always says, Christians, they have Vatican. Muslims, they have Mecca. For Buddhists, what do we have?
Buddha Gaya is like...
Buddha Gaya is the place, but that is where he wanted to build it. But what happened was, these corrupted politicians, they didn't do anything. Maybe he was trying to do it, but he was frustrated at the end. And he went back to Japan, keeping that in his mind. What he did was, he brought Theravada monks. And his suggestion is, let's go back to original Buddhism. That's the theme. That's his slogan. So he invited monks from Cambodia, Mahanayaka Sangaraja, and the Thailand, and Dalai Lama, and himself. They all, three of them got together. 1998, they started this organization, Buddhist Summit, they call it. And Summit, yes. And after that, like a dream, his big dream. So he did start, he bought this land. It is 570 acres, huge. And he built so many buildings in there, inside. And finally he was thinking about this university, what we call Nalanda Mahavihara. So naming it, it was named by this prince, Thailand prince. She suggested that let's put it Nalanda Mahavihara. It's huge. You saw that beautiful, building. That is, all those pillars are stone pillars, brought from China, carved it there, and 18 meters tall. That whole building is about six stories. 6 stories is the top. That is the what do you call this? Dhatu chamber. So we had this conference there, and also they have so many other buildings, like huge libraries there. 2 auditoriums are there. One of them that we were meeting, and so still he's asking question. What do you think about this? If I built, he used to ask that, if I built Buddhist center in Japan, would you come? Would you accept it? If you have money, why not? So if India couldn't do it, somebody should do it. If the Buddhist world can do it, others can support. Now we are not supporting, only our presence is there. But what do is they have 3.5 million followers. They are the one who's supporting it. That's who are the funders of those people. And now they have bought another new place, double the size of this land, and they are building there something like Vatican with Sanchi Stupa. So I said, if you can bring whole India, bring it. Yeah. Oh, inside inside is empty. Inside they are going to keep all the important monks ashes places there, and the library and things. Huge area where they can meet. And there's another corner. We have this monk Kyusei. His name is Kyusei, and he has been to Vatican, and he has seen this People's Square. So he's building a square in that place also for the people. And also there's a special place, Nihombara is called that area. That's for the young people. Young people like you. So I think they have already started building that place also. By next 2 or 3 years time, they will be having the opening ceremony for that. So my point is, for young people, for all of you, we should learn this teaching and know it. And their goal is this. We should make a team, make a make. They always say, let's go back to original teachings. Doesn't matter what the sects we are in. So they do when they are on, they do those services. But what they teach is, go back to the original sutras. So that is what they are trying to promote. So, yeah. Nobody think about it. That's very generous thought. He thinks about. He start with. I remember one of those conferences. He started with Karnimet Sutta. That is the theme. We have to have compassion. We have to have metta, and then let's teach. Let's share this Dhamma with the world. That is the idea. So as Buddhists, we all can do it. Right, Puja? Right, Netra? Samadhi, the Veena, and Kaili. So to share it, we should know it. I always suggest children learn it and make it your part of your life. When you live in it, from you, even though you don't say anything, they always learn something from you. Why these children are so, nicely behaving. ඒක තමයි question එක. දැන් මේ සුරංග එක උදාහරණයක්නේ. සුරංග නිසා ආව තමයි මේ මනුස්ස දෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ හොයාගෙන යන්නේ ඒකයි. So we all can do it. So therefore my suggestion was, so they wanted all the monks, they would send their presentations. So they were in the YouTubes. So they wanted me to speak, so they asked me so many questions and I was presenting them. We all can do it. So if we live in Dhamma, we are sharing it. Without that, we cannot do it. Right? So I want all of you to think about it, learn it, practice it. Right? Practicing, that's how we get it. That's how we share it. So we cannot blame American young people. Why? They don't know. Right? Luckily, you have opportunity to learn. Your parents are Buddhists. If you still have questions, you can ask questions. You can modify it. But we should know the Dhamma. Right? Without knowing, we cannot share it. So when we share, people will learn from it. Even I was suggesting that I was, talking to these young monks here, that even though they cannot know, they don't know this, language, still they can spread it. Why? I used to say that when Kemananda Hamar was here, he was going around. He smiled to people. Right? Even just to go this big, huge block, Jonathan Hamar nowadays he is going around. Likewise, when they see people come here. One day, Kemananda Hamar was going around and one lady came. She is a counselor, school counselor. She is living nearby, still very friendly. She loves our children. So, Michelle. Not that Michelle, another one. Yes.
The Black Michelle?
Black Michelle, we found her in different meetings. But there's another one who is living nearby. She still comes and anything she brings us. Whatever leftover things for the semester, she used to bring us. Now she retired actually from, she's not in the school service. So therefore, I encourage all of you have to be a part of the temple too. Not with me. We will make something, so you have to get involved in, you have to work, do something for the young people. Right? You may be able to do it. You are still small, but keep that in mind. This story is very inspirational. I told him that his inspiration is so huge. 1,000+ acres to buy. Who have that money? Especially in Japan, it's very expensive. Very, very expensive. But he did it. His dream is not dead. He still keep alive. He is 96 years old, very elderly person. Still walking, he's in good health. If he lives at least 100 years, he may be finished, he will do something very beautiful. So therefore, they asked me, so I gave them what I thought about. I don't think that anybody would be against it if he built it. At least world, Buddhists of the world would go to that place to visit. Once in lifetime. Once in lifetime.
Same like going to India and
Right, right.
Is it in Tokyo?
No, it's far away. It's in Kobe. Kobe, nobody knows that it's below. We passed through many rice fields. Beautiful. I took so many pictures, I don't have time to show you. But once you go inside the forest, there's beautiful, huge places there. But now from there, another 2 hours drive. So they have bought another mountain, Murioji, as they call it. So that place, I think old golf course maybe, bought it and working on it now. They already have started building, and by another 2 years' time, they will have beautiful place. So we all can go one day. Keep that in your mind.
Japan, the good thing is, even in the cities, there are paddy fields.
Yes.
In the cities,
They didn't change.
it's like so beautiful.
They didn't change. They still maintain their culture. That's the beauty of it. What happened is Sri Lanka is the most worst country in the world. Spoiled. So they lose
Only
everything.
the
They are
building
throwing
and-
away everything.
Yeah, only the buildings.
Only the buildings.
Yeah.
So sad. But if you want to learn something, we can see it in Japan. When your time comes, you should go and visit it. So saying that, I also like to share with you today 3 words maybe you have remember, right? In Buddhahamru's word, I like to share with you the word what we call as kusala. What is kusala means? And you have to always remember these words. At least few words in Pali, few words in Sinhala, you should know. I always used to teach children saying, if you are respecting your mother, you should know the language. Right? I kind of teasing, but it's a meaningful tease. I'm doing it for you to encourage you, inspire you to learn. Language is very important. That's the root connection. You are connected to your roots. Even though we are living in America, so that we have to have it. Right, David? No? Okay? Maybe.
Tim, සායනස් මේ කියන්න මේගොල්ලන්ට දැන් අර ජෝජි නැති වුණානේ. ජෝජිට ඒ වගේ ලයිෆ් එකක් හම්බුනේ ඇයි ඒක කර්මයනේ. මේගොල්ලන්ට ඒව තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ කර්මයෙන් මේගොල්ලන් දැන් හිතනවා අපි හොඳට ඉන්නවා සතුටින් ඉන්නවා සැපෙන් ඉන්නවා කියලා. ඉතුරු ටික තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ.
Yeah, they are children, they don't. That's what I want. That's the reason why we want to learn. I'm encouraging you to learn it, you know. So, kusala is, Buddhahamru said, kusala is skillfulness. So, this skillfulness could be positive, it could be negative too, right? Yes? If you do anything wrong, harmful, hurting others, that is unskillful. Akusala, we call it. What do we call it? Akusala. Kusala is something that we do, something positive side, something nice for the benefit of others, like what you are caring about your Georgie, right? Yes? Now you are sad about Georgie? But that's the nature, we have to understand that also. Things come to this world, they go away. What we say is coming and going. Right, Kylie? We always see that. So this is what we get, the strength for you to tolerate them, understand them. When you understand, Dhamma is the only way to understand it. Right? Davina, are you still feel sad? Kind of? Yes, it could be. What is that? What brings that sadness to you? If you really look at it, look into your mind, you may find it nothing else but your own attachment that you had. Can you see it? Isn't that what it brings your sadness to you? Right, Kylie? Your attachment. You're so attached to it, now you feel empty. You won't get to see the Georgie, ne?
Yeah, Georgie.
Georgie again. So that's emptiness come to all of us. When our parents are living, we knew that part of the world, doesn't matter, we didn't live with them, yet I felt my father is there. But the day that he gone, I start thinking about it. Oh, now I felt the vacuum, kind of empty, that he is no more there. I may not see him. Understand? I'm just showing you how things are happening. So therefore, nothing else that our own attachment create this emptiness, create this feeling of sadness. Okay? Davina? So, don't petrify yourself, but this is how it is, right? So this is how things are happening in the world. Not only the Georgie, so many beings is killing every day. Just imagine how many chickens are killed every day, right? How many pigs are killed every day? How many cows are killed every day, right? Why do they kill? People kill for their taste, just to please their taste buds. Now you are crying only one small being who were with you. Now you feel sad about it. But you don't feel sad about the other beings. It is not fair. Right? What do you think, Kylie? Is it fair? No. I don't think it is fair for you to feel sad about, Georgie. Georgie faced natural death. That's the nature. So you have to understand this. Try to understand. This is a really good, example for you to start think about. Think about the Dhamma. So that is what Buddha says. Do not, while you are living, don't do any hurtful things, any harm to anybody. So that is called, not only that, there are many. Starting from those 5 precepts, those are the unskillfulness and to develop skillfulness. Okay, kusala. I want you to remember these 2 words, kusala and akusala. Buddha said, you can learn it, you can do it. It's very beautiful. So I will read how he said it. So he says like this in the sutta. Abandon what is unskillful. It is possible to abandon what is unskillful. If it were not possible to abandon what is unskillful, I would not say to you, abandon what is unskillful. But because it is possible to abandon what is unskillful, I say to you, abandon what is unskillful. If this abandoning of what is unskillful were conducive to harm and pain, I would not say to you, abandon what is unskillful. But because this is abandoning of what is unskillful is conducive to benefit and pleasure, I say to you, abandon what is unskillful. So these are not my words. I am reading this for you to understand. Buddha mentioned this. He himself encourages us. See how much he is encouraging? Right? How much he is pushing us? So that is unskillful, he says. Develop what is skillfulness. It is possible to develop what is skillful. If it were not possible to develop what is skillful, I would not say to you, develop what is skillful. But because it is possible to develop what is skillful, I say to you, develop what is skillful. If the development of what is skillful were conducive to harm and pain, I would not say to you, develop what is skillful. But because this is development of what is skillfulness is conducive to benefit and pleasure, I say to you, develop what is skillfulness. So he is explaining this. In details he is giving to us. He is asking us to practice this. I know that you do it, but I want you to know that Buddha mentioned this. Right? Not only that you are doing, you are good children, learning and practicing, but now you know that Buddha said this by himself. Right, Netra? Understand? So therefore, we have to practice. I always remind 5 principles. Right? Pansil. Pansil is good enough for us. Hard work. Don't think it's easy. It's a hard work, but we can do it. And in addition to that, what he said was 4 qualities. What are the 4 qualities? Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. These are beautiful 4 words as virtues-wise, as quality-wise. So these 4 qualities also we have to develop. That's all. Even though there are so many books, if you can practice these things, that's good enough. You can share the Dhamma with the other people, other children who are living, with you. Right? What are they? Metta means what? Friendliness. Mittassa bhava metta. That's how the definition goes. Nature of the friend is metta. So, but when you think of it, it starts with a smile, but when you go deep into it, what is the simile Buddha used? Anybody remember? There's a simile that Buddha always uses a simile. What is the good simile he is using? Anybody remember? Mata yata niyang puttam. That's you have to remember that. If you, all of you, if you can recite Metta Sutta in Pali, beautiful. And I want you to not only Pali, English, read it. I have given this as an assignment to Chinese children who are in Singapore to read it 21 times every day. But they do it. These children, they are really nice.
Yeah.
Now, I have another invitation to go in December to Malaysia to novitiate program. So these are the things that we did before. So there are a lot of chances. Once we learn it, we will remember it. So those children, they do learn, they do practice. It's a great blessing. They believe it's a great blessing. Definitely it's a blessing. Right? Like a mother risking her own life to save her only child, similar love you should be able to pour it towards all living beings. Is it easy? Lavina, is it easy? No. But is it easy to smile? Is it easy to smile when you meet someone? Wake up in the early morning and to smile to your mom, smile to your sister, to your dad. Can you do it? What do you think? Kylie? Yes. We all can do it. So Buddha says, this is possible thing. Remember, these are possible. You can do it. So therefore I am asking you to do it. So that's what Buddha says. Okay? So, these are good qualities but hard. When we go to deep, so that means that we can start with a smile, but we work on it. Continue to work on it. Remember, everyday life, we can share, we can be very friendly, right? Practice our metta towards all. Even to the person who has done something wrong to you. Now, when you go to schools, you may find always there are kids who don't know anything about these things. So, if they are hurting you, if they are mean to you, what can you do? Netra? What are we supposed to do? Pooja, your 16th, sweet 16th birthday is tomorrow, so we have to answer now. Huh? If someone is mean to you, suppose there are other kids in your class, they are mean to you. What are we supposed to do being a Buddhist? How will you handle that? I don't know. That's what I'm talking about now. Metta is the way to do it. So it is hard work. I didn't say it's easy work, but you have to remember that I am a Buddhist, I am practicing. I am practicing Dhamma. As Buddha, we are respecting Buddha for teaching these things. Right? So that Dhamma, if we can live, that is what we call living in Dhamma. Being mindfully, we do practice. I don't, even though that kid is, saying things to you, maybe hurt your feelings, but you are hard, it's hard work, but you are not retaliating that person. Right? We must be able to handle it. Oh, this child is kind of a fool, so he doesn't know, how hurtful it is to me, yet I will forgive you. That forgiving skill comes because you are practicing. Without practicing, it doesn't come to you. Right, Kylie? Right, Davina? Okay, when you practice, you get that strength. So that should be practicing every day. You should be sitting. That's the only reason why I was always, reminding you in Dhamma school, practice it every day. So meditation, breathing meditation 2-3 minutes, and metta meditation 2-3 minutes. That would help you to heal yourself. You are healing yourself. You are not getting in trouble with the other kids. You are not repeating what they have done. Right? We are not mean to anybody. We want to be nice to other people. At least if you don't have to go and do that to that person, but in your mind you are not having any negative thoughts towards anybody, right? That's what you are developing. So in your 16th birthday, make a determination, I'm going to practice this, right? If you set your mind, so you can do it. Not me, Buddhahamru said it. You heard it from the sutra. I was reading, I was copied this one from the Anguttara Nikaya. So the other thing I want to share with you was other word is katanyu. Very important word in this society, in your society. Otherwise they get upset. Katanyu means gratefulness. That's why you have Thanksgiving in November, right? With the story that you are learning it. We want to be thankful to the people who were here before. You know that stories, you have learned it, right, Davina? You know the story of Thanksgiving? Yes? So this is where Buddhahamru taught it. As a discourse, it's called Show Gratitude. Katanyu Sutta. So the Buddhahamru taught this that long time ago, 2500 years before, right? He had given us an example. What was the example that he gave? But in action he did it. In action he did it. You know, he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, right? That's in the shade he was sitting and he became the enlightened being. He could see this. He could penetrate through into many lives in the past, even though you are believing it or not. That's how it happened. That's what Buddhahamru said. He could see, went into many lives. Eons and eons, he says. That's how he mentioned it. Eons and eons he could go into the past, but it's difficult to see the beginning of that. Such a long time, he was searching for, at least we know that in the story of the Buddha, he searched for 4 eons plus time. And finally he found it. But we don't have to go that far, Buddha says, so he could see nothing else is within us. That strong craving is the thing that we are driving into this cycle. So he said, break it. Break the cycle. If you could break it, so you can find the peace. But what are we doing? Like 2 of you are doing now? Still clinging to that Georgie? That creates pain to you. That hurts you. Right, Davina? Is it hurting you? Still? Kylie? Right? So we are holding on to. Remember what Buddha says, that holding, that, clinging is the thing that brings that pain to you. It's hurting you. So therefore Buddhahamru is encouraging us to break that. That is the bond. Scientifically, if you are doing, what do you call that, you do the experiment in chemistry, when you do the chemistry, puja, samadhi, you all did that. What do you do with the, chemistries? What is happening here? Bonds are there. So what do? You are trying to fuse it, right? Fusion. As you keep doing it, you can separate, if you can separate them, so that's, they cannot individually live, right? So bonding, but Buddha said you can do it. When you see that strong craving, so see the nature of what is happening here. So I am painful, I am going through this cycle of hurt. I made it. Being unable to see it. Understand? See, Buddhahamru more scientific when we see it. But current sciences are there, nice. But those scientists, if they learn Buddhism, the Dhamma, I don't call it Buddhism, I like to call it Dhamma. If they learn it, definitely they will find a different way. So therefore, we all, if we learn, as a Buddhist, you can do more research to find the peace. State of peace we will be able to find. So, Katanyu Buddha, first he gave an example, the time that he became an enlightened being. He was grazing, he was looking at the Bodhi tree for 1 week, without blinking. You may be thinking, people, when they don't believe when I say it. But being a Buddha, I believe he had that skill. It doesn't matter if we believe it or not, yet he gave that, as showing that example. Bodhi tree has no mind or anything. Yet, he wanted to show to the world that we should be grateful to this. So in the sutra, Buddha says, there's a special sutra that he talks about, if there is anybody, say, listen to this one. I tell you, there are two people who are not easy to repay. Which two? Your mother and father. Why? Why is that? Sometimes when you are living together, when you are not meeting with your demands, what you are asking for, right? You may not like them. You may be angry with father, angry with mother. Do any of you have any time, any of you remember any time that you were angry with your mother?
Yeah, every 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Oh, every 5 minutes.
Highly.
Demanding.
Not every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes.
That's no blessing. Remember that if you are seeking for blessing, you have to remember this. Yeah, remember this. These are not my words. I am reading for you from the sutra. Buddha said this. Buddha never lied to us. Okay? So hereafter, keep this in your mind. Listen to it. I would like to read it if that's the case. So your mother and father, even if you were to carry your mother on one shoulder and your father on the other shoulder, 400 years, and were to look after them by anointing, massaging, bathing, rubbing their limbs, and they were to defecate and urinate right there on your shoulders, you would not in that way pay to repay your parents. See how much Buddha is saying it, how important it is? If you were to establish your mother and father in absolute sovereignty over this great earth, abandoning in the 7 treasures, you would not in that way pay or repay your parents. Right, Samadhi? Right, Netra? You are listening? Why? Why is that? Mother and father do much for their children. They care for them, they nourish them, they introduce them to this world. But anyone who rouses his unbelieving mother and father, settles and establishes them in conviction, rouses his unvirtuous mother and father, settle and establish them in the virtue, rouses his stingy mother and father, settles and establishes them in the generosity, rouses in foolish mother and father, settles and establishes them in the discernment. To this extent, one pay and repay one's mother and father. So this is what Buddha said. So they may be missing so many chances because of your demands, because of carrying you, right? Whenever you're sick, suppose now they were ready to go to temple or something, engage in spiritual practice. Then at that moment, one of you became sick. Then what do? Do they continue to do their work, whatever they are doing? No. They will be seeking to bring doctors to you or take you to the hospitals, right? So they stop everything else and they take care of you. Take care of us, our parents, that's how everybody is doing. So therefore, repay is that when you are able to let them to provide that opportunity for them to practice. That's what he said here. Right? Who said this? Buddha said it. And you think about it. You don't have to believe. Remember, Buddha never asked you to believe this, what he is saying. But you have a mind, think about it. Is that true? Is that reasonable? Then you can practice it. Right? So all of you can think and practice these things. So there are things, kusala, akusala, katanyuta or katanyu. Very important 3 words, so you have to remember. And start practicing. You will be providing Dhamma for the others too. Okay? All of you can do it. There's nothing impossible. So Buddha said, we can do it. Right? We all can do it. So we should be, only thing is that we have retained this Dhamma in our minds and start practicing. Understand? So these are the beauty of the Dhamma. These are not hard work. Hard work in a sense, but not something you are wasting your time. While you are improving your worldly understanding, right? Worldly knowledge. So that is for your material wealth. But on the other side, we have to improve ourselves in spiritually. Right, Kylie? So when we have these both sides, so we are balancing ourselves. Spiritual wealth, material wealth. These both sides should be together. Then we are balancing it. So that we have to keep in mind. There are a lot to think about. Buddha many times he was encouraging wherever he went. Remember, Buddha even went for one person. Remember, he was not teaching to thousands of people every day. Whenever he is by himself, he was in his meditation. He had that skill. He developed that skill to keep his mind here and now. So therefore, we must be able to do that too. Whenever you have opportunity, practice, make it a habit, good habit. Right, Kylie? Right, Davina? Maybe 5 minutes meditation every day. Can we do it? What do you think, Davina? Do you think that we can do it? Can we come to Dhamma school?
Dhamma school ගෙදරට ගේන්න ගියා මේ කල්පනා කරේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ මේ උනන් නැත්තම් අත්පාඩු හරි අමාරු වෙනවා.
Kylie. So in the morning you want to sleep a little bit more on Sundays. So can we do it in the afternoon? What do you think? You have to start thinking about it. So if you want to develop this Dhamma, we have to have something. It's hard work. You are going to school because that you have to get your good grades. So there's something rewarding there. But rewarding in learning Dhamma is you have to be satisfied, you have to be happy with. Right? Do you think that you can do it? Kylie? Davina? I think we all can do it. We can spend 1 hour for this. Right? Netra? Netra was there in every Dhamma school day, right? Behind the picture. Hiding in. She's participating from home. And the cat is in the front, so he's behind the cat. Right, Netra? Pooja? Were you there too? I don't know. Sometimes I have seen you. But learn it. You will be never unhappy about it. You will be very happy at the end. When it comes to the time that you are grown up, when you think about it, you will be happy. But right now, you don't want to do it. Amma is, like you may see that Amma and Tata is pushing us. No, we don't say that. This is to balance yourself. This is how you can balance yourself. I asked you a question before. How do you handle when your mean classmate doing something to you? There's no other way. What Buddha said was, in the teaching, what comes in the teaching is Dhammo sada samangnatti. There's no medicine other than the Dhamma. Okay? Dhamma, osada. Osada means aushada, means medicine. So there's no medicine other than the Dhamma. So that's the only way to heal ourselves. That's the only way to bring skills for us to handle situations in our everyday life. So you should be developing that. Right? Good things are always hard. Bad things are always easy. You are drawn into that like a magnet. Why? I think those are the things that we have done in our lives. Who knows, we came from that bad place. Right? We don't know where we came from. We don't know where we are going from here. So therefore, Buddha encourages us to guarantee that do good, you will have something better. Okay, that's how Buddha said. Buddha did not come to lie and show us in a wrong path. He always very compassionate. For how long did he practice to be the Buddha? 4 eons plus time. What does eon means? I think I asked last time, how long can we count? How far can we count? We know million. How many zeros in the million? How many? Kylie, how many zeros in the million?
6.
Okay, how many zeros in the billion?
9,
How many zeros in the trillion?
12,
Yes, that's only distance that we can go.
140
Eon means 140 zeros.
zeros.
140 zeros. 140th power of the 10th in another way, that calculations. Right? That calculation doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't go into our head. Such a long time that Buddhahamdru, 4 sets of such time, he did practice. That's also he said in the sutras. I'm not making up. There's one sutra called Veranja Sutta, if you like to search. And also included there are a few others. So there he mentioned about it. Such time, long period I have been in this cycle. You and I have been here uncountable lifetimes. Because we cannot see the beginning, we cannot see the end. Why? He asked a question. Because you don't see the Dhamma. Saddhammasa avijjanatatta, that's how he says it. I didn't come to tell you stories today. I just want to give you something hard for you to think. Okay, Netra? You understand? I know you like to listen to stories, but today I planned it for not to give a story. It would be nice, but there are a few stories that, that story of Bodhi tree, and where Buddha was watching, gazing at it. So those are things that we have to remember. Go back to those things and see what Buddha was doing. Right? So, let us learn Dhamma and share it with the other beings. One more thing I would like to share with you. Arthur C. Clarke? Scientists in the past, there were Albert Einstein, people like that. They also talk about the teaching. If there's any religion that makes sense, that would be Buddhism. He said that. Einstein said it. And Arthur C. Clarke, who is a 20th century visionary, he said that in the future, by 2050, if there's any religion going to be in the world, what is that? Buddhism. Right? If that is the case, we should contribute into it now. We have 27 more years. I was always sharing with these monks that's time for us to don't worry about Sri Lanka, what is happening there. Right? Things are happening, negative things are happening there. But here, just focus on what we're supposed to do. I always tell them. I even mentioned in the conference too. It's our time. Prepare yourself. Do it whatever you can do to contribute into this. Share the Dhamma. Americans, they don't know. Can we blame them? Can we blame them? No. By practicing, living in it, we can show it to them. If we do that, that means we are doing our part, what we are supposed to do.
It is very little. So
Huh?
Mata email Martha Stewart thing, about the Yoniso Manasikara. Mindfulness. She's talking about mindfulness like
Everybody's talking about mindfulness nowadays. That's a big thing in the talking. But what is happening is they talk about, they don't know the root of it. They don't know where they are going. They are not end of. But what they do is they are doing it just to boost their income, your wealth. For that reason they are. That's not the right. So with that, definitely we have to work on. One step more than that, if we learn and practice it, that you are doing it. Like Martha Stewart and other business people, they do that to promote their own wealth. That's a material wealth. But spiritual wealth is very important. Once you have that, you will be very successful. Okay, Netra? Pooja, Samadhi, Kylie, and Davina. So now 5 of you are here. We are going to give you that, right, baton to carry. I want all of you to learn and practice. And also, our friends, whoever I don't know who is there in the Zoom, all of you are supposed to, all young children, that is your duty to work on these things and carry on this. Share the Dhamma with the others. Don't be lazy. Be a nice, compassionate, good children, good young people into the future. So we want all of you to be part of this. So saying that, I will stop here. So for tonight, that we learn few things, beautiful 3 words, kusala, akusala and katanyu. Those are the 3 things that you have remembered as words, and if you forget, you can always ask me. Whenever you come or whenever you are there, you can write and you can remind. We can get into a small group of into conversation, right? So that is your duty in yours. Remember that you have to do a duty towards our young people, young American people. They will be learning it. They are ready to learn it, but we're supposed to give it. Without we are sharing with them, they don't know what to do. There are young people. One day I went to Hunter College and they invited me for a talk. One girl was crying. Young woman, not a small girl. She was crying. Why? She was so happy seeing original monk. That's how she said it. She was with tear-filled eyes. So she was very happy. So there are people like that. So they are ready to receive what we have. So therefore now that number should have gone up. There are many people who are curious, many people who are searching for. So you must be prepared. We all must be prepared to share what we know. For that, definitely you have to have that knowledge. Okay? Alright? So keep that in mind. Alright, today, so we learn about Nalanda Mahavihar and huge center that's building up for us. One day we will be able to go and see it. And also here I share this Dhamma. Even though that's a little bit, that's good enough. For you can share it with the other people. Try to keep that in your mind and practice it every day. Meditation is so helpful for you to be successful. Right? Balancing yourself and showing that how to do that to your friends. Okay? So let us say sadhu and share the merit with the devas and also share the merit with Georgie, right? Yeah. First, let us say the gatha to share the merit with devas, okay? Akasattha cha bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumodit chirang rakkhantu loka sasanam. Akasattha cha bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu loka sasanam. Akasattha cha bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumodit chirang rakkhantu loka sasanam. So, Pangwadala. So, the Veena and Kylie can think. And Malli. Where's Malli? You have to come. Come. So you lost your pet. Now you are crying because you don't understand it. So therefore now you have to promise yourself, we are going to understand. We will not cry like this hereafter. Okay? So may all this good merit be shared with Georgie. May Georgie may not repeat this kind of poor lives. It's pet for us, but that's in a way that he should be liberated from this cycle. May he break the cycle and be at peace. Having such thoughts in your mind, now saying Gatha for water. So everybody, let's say Gatha. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Okay, thank you. Yatavari vaha pura paripurenti sagarang evamevaitodi petanang upakappati chitang pattitang tuyang kippameva samijja sabbe purentu chitta sankappa chando pannaraso amani jyoti raso yata. Okay, now last, let us say Gatha to pay respect to Amma and Tata. Dasamase ure katva posesi buddhikaranam ayudighang vassa satang matupadang namamahang buddhikaro alingitva chumbitva piyaputtakang rajamajjang supatitthang pitupadang namamahang. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. All right. Thank you, children. Davina, what's Mali's name? What's Mala's name?
Naveen.
Naveen.
Oh.
Naveen, come.
Alexander.
Eh?
Naveen Alexander.